Hello, and welcome to Relaxing Facts. I'm Chad K, and today I will be talking about the movie Rogue One, a Star Wars story. First, I want to give a quick shout out to our listeners in Sunnyvale, California. Thank you for being faithful listeners of our podcast. We really appreciate you. Each week, I share interesting stories and little-known facts on a variety of topics, accompanied by gentle, soothing music. My goal is to help you find a sense of calm during your busy day. Feel free to settle into a cozy spot and let yourself be carried away by these relaxing facts. In 2016, the Star Wars universe expanded in a new direction with the release of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Unlike the main episodic films, this movie told a smaller, grittier story set inside the larger galactic conflict between the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire. It focused on ordinary individuals who risk everything to strike the first real blow against the Empire, setting up the events that lead directly into Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. The story begins during the dark years of Imperial rule. The Empire is secretly constructing a massive superweapon known as the Death Star, capable of destroying entire planets. At the center of this project is a brilliant scientist named Galen Erso. Years earlier, Galen had tried to live a quiet life away from the Empire with his wife and young daughter, Jyn. However, Imperial forces track him down because of his expertise in energy and weapons engineering. A ruthless Imperial officer named Orson Krennic forces Galen to work on the Death Star project, while Jyn escapes and grows up without her father. As the years pass, the Empire tightens its grip on the galaxy. Jyn Erso grows up as a survivor, moving between smugglers, criminals, and rebels. By the time the film begins, she has been arrested by the Empire for various crimes. The Rebel Alliance learns that Galen Erso may have secretly sabotaged the Death Star design and that he might have left behind a message explaining how the weapon can be destroyed. Because Jyn is his daughter, the rebels free her from an Imperial labor camp and ask for her help. The rebel mission begins cautiously. Jyn is escorted by a rebel intelligence officer named Cassian Andor, a man who has spent years carrying out dangerous and morally complicated missions for the rebellion. Cassian understands the stakes of the conflict better than most, and he knows that sometimes difficult decisions must be made in war. Along the way, they meet a group of unlikely allies. One of them is Chirrut Imwe, a blind warrior who believes deeply in the Force, even though he is not a Jedi. His friend, Baze Malbus, is a heavily armed soldier who protects Chirrut and fights alongside him. They also encounter Bodhi Rook, an Imperial pilot who defects after receiving Galen Erso's secret message. Rounding out the team is K-2SO, a reprogrammed Imperial security droid with a blunt sense of humor and surprising loyalty. These characters form the heart of the story. Unlike the legendary heroes often seen in Star Wars, they are ordinary people. None of them have mystical powers, royal bloodlines, or destinies written in prophecy. What they do have is courage and a shared belief that the Empire must be stopped. Their mission takes them across several planets. One of the most striking is Jedha, an ancient world once associated with the Force and the Jedi. Under Imperial occupation, the city has become a place of tension and resistance. Rebels secretly operate within the streets while the Empire mines the planet's kyber crystals, powerful minerals that help power the Death Star's super laser. While on Jedha, the group manages to receive Galen Erso's holographic message. In it, Galen reveals that he deliberately built a hidden flaw into the Death Star's design. If the rebels can obtain the station's technical plans, they could exploit that weakness and destroy the weapon. However, retrieving those plans will be extremely difficult because they are stored in a heavily fortified Imperial archive. Before the heroes can leave Jedha, the Empire tests the Death Star's power. In a chilling demonstration, the station fires a limited blast at the city. The resulting explosion obliterates the landscape and forces Jyn and her companions to flee for their lives. This moment makes the threat of the Death Star terrifyingly real. Entire worlds could vanish if the Empire chooses to use the weapon freely. The team's next step is to find Galen Erso himself. He is working at an Imperial facility on the rainy planet Edu. When the rebels arrive, they attempt to extract him during a chaotic battle between rebel fighters and Imperial forces. Cassian struggles with a secret order he received earlier: assassinate Galen Erso to prevent the Empire from forcing him to continue his work. However, events spiral out of control during the attack, and Galen is mortally wounded before he can escape. In his final moments, he and Jyn share a brief but powerful reunion. He reassures her that everything he did was meant to give the rebellion a chance. After Galen's death, Jyn returns to the Rebel Alliance leadership and urges them to launch a mission to steal the Death Star plans. Many Rebel leaders hesitate. The Empire is too powerful, and the Death Star seems unstoppable. The Alliance fears that a direct attack could provoke devastating retaliation. But Jyn refuses to give up. She argues that rebellions are built on hope, and that hope is worth fighting for. Her determination inspires Cassian and the others who fought beside her. Even without official approval from the rebel leadership, they decide to attempt the mission themselves. Their target is the Imperial Archive on the tropical planet Scarif. The facility is heavily defended by stormtroopers, security systems, and a planetary shield that prevents unauthorized ships from entering or leaving. Despite the odds, the small rebel strike team infiltrates the base. What follows is one of the most intense battle sequences in the entire Star Wars saga. Rebel soldiers clash with Imperial forces across beaches, towers, and communication stations. Small battles erupt above the planet as Rebel ships try to break through the defensive shield. Inside the Archive Tower, Jyn and Cassian race against time to locate the Death Star plans. Meanwhile, their teammates fight bravely outside to create a distraction and keep the mission alive. One by one, members of the team sacrifice themselves to ensure that data can be transmitted. The climax of the film is both thrilling and tragic. Jyn and Cassian manage to transmit the Death Star plans to the Rebel fleet, but the Empire responds with overwhelming force. A familiar figure from the Star Wars universe appears during this moment: the Dark Enforcer of the Empire, Darth Vader. In a terrifying hallway sequence, he cuts through Rebel soldiers in an attempt to stop the plans from escaping. Despite Vader's efforts, the Rebels succeed in transmitting the data to a fleeing ship. The final scene reveals that the plans have reached Princess Leia, directly connecting the story to the opening moments of A New Hope. What makes Rogue One unique among Star Wars films is its tone. The movie emphasizes sacrifice, realism, and the harsh cost of rebellion. The characters understand that their mission might be fatal, yet they continue because they believe the future of the galaxy depends on it. The film also expands the Star Wars universe by showing the war from the perspective of soldiers, spies, and defectors rather than legendary heroes. This approach adds depth to the story of the Rebel Alliance and highlights the countless unsung individuals who contributed to the eventual defeat of the Empire. Visually, Rogue One stands out as well. The film blends the classic look of the original trilogy with modern filmmaking techniques. The battle on Scarif, with its tropical setting and massive space combat overhead, has become one of the most memorable sequences in Star Wars history. Critics and audiences praised the movie for its darker tone, emotional storytelling, and strong performances. Many fans appreciated how it deepened the meaning of the original Star Wars film by showing the dangerous mission required to obtain the Death Star plans. In the end, Rogue One tells a powerful story about courage in the face of impossible odds. The characters may not live to see the victory they helped create, but their actions spark the chain of events that leads to the destruction of the Death Star and the rise of hope across the galaxy. And that brings us to the end of this week's talk. If you like this episode of Relaxing Facts, then please consider subscribing or leaving a comment or just clicking like. I hope you have a great day, whether you're taking a moment to unwind or simply enjoying some calming listening. Thank you so much for being here. I am Chad K, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.